Hi, how are you all? I'm Kamakshaya. Today I'm going to explain you how to create a jar file from a couple of Java class files. So jar file is known as Java archive, usually used in order to compress multiple Java classes for portability. Okay, so in this tutorial I'm going to create a couple of classes. Obviously, I need to do that using JavaScripts, and then I will show you how to create a jar file using those classes, and then execute each class differently, independently from rest of the Java classes in this same jar file. I was trying to search for content related to this kind of activity online, but unfortunately, I could not get sufficient material, and then I decided to do one by myself. So I have a folder java-jar.demo in my operating system. I'm going to open VS Code, which is my favorite editor for this activity, and I'm going to open. Wait, I have to open that folder here. Sure. Yeah, this is being opened. So now what I do is I'm just going to create a couple of Java scripts, and in my first script I'm going to create two classes, one for the addition and the other class for subtraction. And I'll try to instantiate those two classes from the main class, and then when I compile this file, I should be able to get three classes, obviously. So I expect you to have some basic skills in Java. So I'm going to name my JavaScript as arithmetics, okay, or anything, whatever it is, your favorite name. So as I said, I'm going to create one class for addition, another class for subtraction, and then I'm going to instantiate these two classes from a third class called main. So you can create a number of classes in the same script. So it doesn't matter, Java supports. Now class, you can call public class or something like addition. Okay. So I'm going to create one method inside this that is going to be void add, and this is a method. That's why I'm just going to write system out in ln 2 plus 1. So it's very easy for us to guess what is the answer. It's going to be 3. System out. I do a hell lot of mistakes, typos. I'm going to create another class. This time it is going to be subtraction. Okay. And I'm going to create one method inside this class that is going to be subtract. Okay. And now this is just going to subtract 2 minus 1. System out println. So these are all very petty classes. I just don't like to demonstrate very huge and gigantic logic in my. This is the purpose of this video demonstration is to show you how to create jar file from multiple classes and call each class or execute each class, assuming that your base jar file is going to be your application, Java application, something like that. Print ln 2 minus 1. So now it is easy for us to guess the answer. It's going to be 1. Now the last class is going to be the main class, in which I'm going to create one main method, public static main string args. Now here I instantiate those two classes. The first class is going to be addition add equal to new addition. So by the way, I assume that you know the basics of Java. This is what is, I'm creating an object called add, and then I call that method add from this object. Now second class subtraction sub equal to new subtraction, and then now I'm going to call the methods add dot add and sub dot subtract. So when this method is called, now this is the script, this class is going to perform the addition. So the result is going to be 2 plus 1, 3. And when this method from this object sub is called, a subtraction is performed, the result is going to be 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So that is what is the aim of this script. Now I'm going to compile this script and create a class file. Now Java, by the way, I'll show you Java version. I have 11.0.12 Java C version, and one caution is that you need to set up your path variables perfectly in your Windows operating system. Otherwise, Windows will not, because it's not like Linux. Okay, so now I'm going to. Sorry, I was trying to clear Java C. What is the name of the file? Arithmetic.java. Now when I compare, so how many classes were created? There is a class for addition, there is a class for subtraction, so 3 classes were created. Now obviously if I want to run this script, thinking that the whole script represents an application, Java main 3.1. Okay, now the point is how to convert these classes into a jar file in order to make these classes portable, which means easy for me to transport this file from one place to the other place, because every time I cannot carry on these classes independently in my storage. So if I can compress these 3 classes into one single jar file, it is easy for me to carry on that jar file from one place to the other place, so that I can just use this. If you think that this is an application, Java application, it's a bullshit application. So if we think that this application is going to perform certain calculations like this, now it is always better to convert these classes, compress these classes into a jar file. So now what is the procedure? This is what is the main point for today's demonstration. So jar cvf, we need to create a manifest file in which I need to mention what is the main class. Okay, so how to do that? In Windows, you call main class, and it is main, right? And create a manifest.txt. So this is the connection. So whenever a jar file need to be created, then we need to create a manifest file. There are other methods, like even without creating a manifest file, we can create a jar file, but this is the safest way to create. Now what I need to do, jar cvf, and I need to name my jar file. I want to call it as a xyz.jar, and then manifest.txt, then take all the classes. Okay, now you say adding addition, adding main. So now how to use this jar file in order to access that main class, because the main class is the entry point for my script. So the whole execution happens through the main class, where I have the main method. Now Java, it is not dash jar. Please be cautious. There is a lot of online material where the jar file need to be executed with the help of Java space dash jar. It's not like that. It did not work for me. I don't know. You try, but it works. Java space dash cv class path xyz dot jar, then main. Yes. So Java main, and then Java cp. Now which one is correct? To me, so converting the classes into one single application, just like jar, and then using that application for my calculations is the best method. Now the point is, it's okay. We have one single script, and I created 3 different classes, and then when I compile, there are 3 independent classes. I compress them into a single jar file, and then I call it as an application. That's okay, fine. Now, by any chance, I have another class. Okay, so this is the problem which I met when I was explaining some of the concepts related to MapReduce in Big Data Analytics, where we got an examples MapReduce jar file in Hadoop Home, where you do have multiple classes. So how is it possible for Java to execute the one class and the another uh, residing with together in the jar file? So that is what is the fantastic the aspect of the whole Java infrastructure. Now I'm going to create one more script, and this I'm going to call this as multiplication. I think you can understand what I'm doing here. Multiplication.java, and this is going to be a self-contained script, which means I'm going to create a class in which I'm going to have a method, and I instantiate an object inside that class file, JavaScript. Now I'm going to create a method inside this script, and it's going to be void multiplication or whatever it is. Okay. And then system out println 2 multiplied by 2. Okay, now it is going to be 4. Okay. Now please be cautious. So how to in order to execute this script, or after adding this class file to the existing jar file, if you want to execute this multiplication class, you need to have the main method inside this class file itself. You cannot have a separate main method. Okay, so that is why public static void main and string args, and here comes the main instantiation. So multiplication mul is equal to new multiplication. Okay, and then mul dot over. So this is a self-contained JavaScript in which I have a method as well as a main method, a user-defined method together with the main method. Now come down. So I'm going to compile this class multiplication.java. Now look at the left side. The multiplication of class is created. I can just simply call it and execute this with multiplication. So 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. The point is, how do we add this class to the existing jar file and then execute this class from that jar file? So I already have 3 classes in that jar file. Now the problem is how to add this class to the existing 3 classes. So I'm going to show you the method. It's the same thing, like in jar cdf same xyz.jar. I would like to call my jar file as xyz.jar, then manifest, in which I have, it is mandatory, we need to mention where is the main class, at least one main class per jar file. Okay, then all dot class. Now without any error, say multiplication class is added or adding, whatever it is. Now how do I java cp xyz.jar? We do main first. Okay, fine. Now this time I have multiplication. It's not main, please be cautious. I'm calling multiplication, which is a self-contained separate class. That's it. And now the last thing, I'm going to create one more class file which I call division, and this time I don't define a method, a user defined method inside the class. I'll just perform the calculation inside the main method, and I add that class also to the existing xyz.jar, and I will try to run the 3 different classes individually and independently. How to do that? Now I'm going to create a Java file called as division.java, and here I'm not going to have employ any method. I'll straight away go to public. Okay. I don't want to. It's a safe bet. System out print ln. So I'm showing you 3 different ways to write a class file with in one file having classes independently from the main class, in one file an independent class having a user-defined method with a main method, and the last a class file having no user-defined method but having a main method. Now 4 divided by 2, so we know it is going to be 2, so that it is. So I don't have user-defined method in this class script, sorry, JavaScript. And now when I compile Java C division, I don't know why Windows use this type of. Okay, now you see we got think division or class. So again say jar cvf xyz dot jar manifest dot txt all classes. Wildcard. I'm using a wildcard. Fine. Now Java division. So it should work. Now Java cp xyz dot jar division. And then same jar file multiplication. And same jar file for addition subtraction we got main. So what do you understand? So we need to have one main method irrespective of the script that you have been writing. And once that main method is going to be the entry point for the execution. So you need to create a manifest file in which you should mention the best main method among the methods in your scripts, and then you can convert all the classes into a jar file. Now as usual you can just so I was searching for some suitable content online as how to create a jar file from the multiple classes and then execute each class, but unfortunately I could not get a good material or content, so I decided to do one by myself. And thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the new content. Please subscribe and like my video. Thank you.